This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Schools are critical to the future of our neighborhoods, and we urge you to consider our neighborhood's needs and our request to turn these schools back over to IPS. This school gave me dreams, and without it, my dreams won't come true.
Emotions running high as the future of 3 Indianapolis schools will be decided in a matter of moments. Good afternoon, I'm Meredith Barrick. For about the last 2 hours, the State Board of Education has been hearing public comments on a big decision involving those 3 schools. As we've told you, Indianapolis Public Schools wants to retake control that was removed by the state years ago. IPS says it is time to cut ties with the out-of-state company Charter Schools USA because the school district says the company violated its agreement. But if IPS regains control, it will mean big changes for students. Manual High School would partner with another education company, Crystal House, and it would eventually become another Crystal House Academy. Emmett Middle School will be operated by a new company, and Howe High School would close at the end of the school year.
The option to allow CSUSA to continue operating Donnan, Manual, or Howe would further erode the trust of these communities and, far worse, hinder the success of yet another generation of our students.
They didn't want it 3 years ago. They didn't want it a year ago. They didn't want it 6 months ago. But now that we want it, they want it back. Now that it has shown value, IPS wants to come in and take over for the remaining final easy lap.
Right now, here is a live look as the State Board of Education is still meeting. Many people from around the community offering their comments on the IPS plan before the board takes its vote today. We are now in the 3rd hour of those comments. If that vote happens during the news at noon, we will let you know how it turns out, and we will have much more about the meeting at the IndyChannel.com and tonight on the news at 5 and 6 o'clock. In the meantime, though, we want to take a turn and take a look at the weather. Unfortunately, still not much to see out there. That fog still lingering here this midday. Meteorologist Todd Clausen will let us know when it will finally disappear. Todd, it seems like we cannot escape its grip.
You know, it's slowly starting to get better, but it was a rough morning all across the area. The dense fog advisory for much of central Indiana has now been dropped. Just a few counties remaining on the far eastern side of the state. Here's the view in Greencastle, though, across the campus of DePaul University, and you can finally start to see some of the houses and trees there over the Greencastle area as the fog is finally starting to lift in spots. We've gone from about 1/10 of a mile visibility to now 1/2 mile and 3/4 of a mile, and this should slowly start to improve. The fog is not just going to quickly move out of the area with the passage of a front, but it's just going to slowly get better throughout the remainder of the afternoon. We're replacing the fog, though, with some showers now across the area. Nothing heavy, but a few sprinkles starting to appear here on Storm Team 6 radar, and that'll be the case from now through much of the middle half of the afternoon. There will be the chance of a few spotty showers as these warmer temperatures start to work in. Close to 50 in Sullivan as well as Bloomington, 41 in Indy, still 30s to the north. Temperatures in the city should get close to 50 degrees by the time we get into the afternoon hours and falling back down into the 40s this evening for those of you to the north. Unfortunately, your temperatures are going to continue to run a lot cooler. Speaking of cooler, wait till you see the temperatures for tomorrow. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. New this midday, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is promising an explosive 4th of July weekend at the track. And this year, a brand new race will be part of the Brickyard 400 festivities. Today, IMS announced that for the first time, NASCAR's second-tier Xfinity Series will race on the IMS road course instead of the 2.5-mile oval. Also, the track says there will be a Saturday night fireworks show to go along with the Florida-Georgia Line concert that is already on the schedule. This will be the first year NASCAR's Brickyard races have been run on Independence Day weekend. Taking a turn now in Washington, the House is expected to vote within the next few hours to send the 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump to the Senate. The House managers named to prosecute the case will then walk them over to the other side of the Capitol. As ABC's Rachel Scott tells us, it comes as a trove of new evidence shows that President Trump's personal attorney pressured Ukraine's president to investigate Trump's political enemies.
This morning, a long-awaited announcement from the Speaker of the House setting the stage for a historic impeachment trial.
I am very proud to present the managers who will bring the case which we have great confidence in terms of impeaching the president and his removal.
The 7 managers include a diverse group of lawmakers, including 3 women and 2 freshmen. The House then sending over the 2 articles of impeachment to the Senate as that chamber braces for a trial. Lawmakers still locked in a partisan debate over whether witnesses should be called.
House Democrats may have descended into pure factionalism, but the United States Senate must not.
But Democrats' demands now fueled by new evidence. House committees turning over 59 pages of fresh material to be used in the Senate trial. Text messages, emails, and handwritten notes from Lev Parnas, an indicted associate of President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who was cooperating with authorities to try and cut a deal. Parnas, arrested on campaign finance charges this fall, writing on hotel stationery, quote, "Get Zelensky to announce that the Biden case will be investigated."
The evidence is overwhelming. The latest evidence with Parnas and Giuliani makes it even more so.
Also included these text messages raising questions on if former U.S. Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch was under physical surveillance by contacts of Robert Hyde, a Trump supporter who is running for a Connecticut congressional seat. Hyde writing to Parnas, "If you want her out, they need to make contact with security." And texting, "Wow, can't believe Trump hasn't fired this expletive." Hyde declined to comment on these messages to ABC News, but said he did absolutely not offer to harm the ambassador. And any vote on whether witnesses should have to testify only requires a simple majority. Now, Republicans do have majority in the Senate, which means only 4 GOP senators would need to vote with all the Democrats to cross that 51 vote threshold. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
Now is the time of year we are all getting in shape, but it's also a time when bad guys are trying to promise you a better body, and they may only deliver an empty wallet. Todd.
And as you walk out the door here this afternoon, you'll maybe be dealing with a few showers in your neighborhood as we kind of shift from fog over towards the rain aspect of this. We're not looking at a lot of rainfall here throughout the course of the day today, but there will be some showers around. We'll talk about this weather event and a bigger storm heading our way at the end of the week coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
New Modern Family tonight on ABC.
It's time now for another RTV6 Consumer Alert. I'm joined by the Better Business Bureau's Tim Maniscalco. And Tim, this time of year, a lot of people are looking to slim down after maybe they splurged a little bit on the holiday calories. They're looking to drop a few pounds, and they might go to some lengths that probably aren't the best idea, and they seek out some maybe weight loss pills or diet pills that they find on the internet.
Right. We've talked a lot about these free trial offers, and these free trial offers really come out on, like you said, the diet pills and the supplements. And what they will do is they will a lot of times use a celebrity, and actually they'll steal their image. These celebrities don't endorse this, saying, "Hey, I lost all this weight on this particular diet pill or supplement." They'll say it's a free trial offer, and you'll say, "Great, I'm going to do this. It's not going to cost me anything." But you got to be very, very careful, because what will happen is, yeah, you'll get something, and sometimes these things are, you know, really just kind of sugar pills or nothing that's really going to help you at all. But what they want to do is get your credit card information, because there's always some sort of shipping, handling, and then they will continue to charge you month after month, even though the first month is free. Almost impossible then to get a hold of them and cancel it. So you just want to be very, very careful, particularly when you see some sort of celebrity endorsement, that type of thing. Really research the company. Just be very, very aware of these free trial offers. Nothing in this world is really free, or very few things are, let's say. You want to really read the terms and conditions. Like I said, there's a lot of celebrities that are supposedly endorsing these types of things, and you know they're really not endorsing that. You want to make certain that you call your credit card company and try to get refunds. In fact, the credit card companies have instituted some terms now where they do have to give consumers the option to opt out of a payment, but it's still, a lot of these companies don't necessarily follow that, and we would really like to report these fake ads to us, and we will try to take some action on it. But once again, this is the time of year when you see all those, because they know people are out trying to, like you say, lose a few pounds.
Yeah, all right, Tim, some great advice there. This has been another RTV6 Consumer Alert. Anytime is a good time for some bacon, right? Ahead, we'll have some special guests to preview a big event happening this weekend where you can go hog wild. You are watching the news at noon on RTV6. We're taking a live look in Greencastle at the campus at DePaul. You can hardly see it, though. We'll be right back after this break.
Serious questions, simple answers.
A former deputy general counsel with the Indiana Department of Child Services has filed a lawsuit alleging DCS discriminated against her because she's a woman and violated the Equal Pay Act. Diana Mejia says DCS replaced her with a male employee who made more money despite having less experience in child welfare. Mejia says DCS retaliated against her and terminated her when she complained about it. She's seeking to be reinstated as well as lost wages and benefits. DCS declined to comment.
I'm Ted Rollins. Today on Court TV, a 63-year-old Florida man is facing the death penalty for killing his mother and two half-brothers, allegedly in a case investigators believe involves witchcraft. Investigators say Donald Hartung told them he's a Wiccan who practices paganism. The triple murder, according to the local sheriff, may have been part of what's called a blue moon prosperity spell. 77-year-old Von Seal Smith and her two sons, John and Richard, were found dead in a home in Pensacola, Florida. There's also a potential financial motive. Investigators say Hartung was not in his mother's will, but once all three members of his family were dead, he was the sole beneficiary. Hartung admits he was at the house before the murders and cooked dinner for his mother and brothers, but claims when he left, one of his brothers wasn't home from work yet, and the others were still alive. Opening statements in the case expected as early as tomorrow. We're also covering jury selection in the Harvey Weinstein rape trial in New York. Opening statements in that case expected next week. We'll have continuing coverage of both trials and other legal news throughout the day on Court TV. Now back to you.
Ted, thanks. You can learn more about other cases around the nation right now at courttv.com. Well, it has been a scene we've been seeing all day long. The fog just taking over central Indiana. Pretty much no matter where you are, this is the view, unfortunately, Todd.
You know, and of course that camera's on the top of the Salesforce Tower downtown.
Yeah.
So it deceives you a little bit. It's not that foggy at ground level, but it has been a rough go of it here this morning. We still have a few dense fog advisories on the eastern side of the state, but it has expired in the metro area, and that's the good news. And these visibilities should start to improve further here throughout the afternoon hours. In fact, here in northern locations, a lot of them are now above the 1 mile threshold. Kokomo, Peru, getting close in Flora. As you work your way down to the south, 1 mile visibility in Fishers, over 1 mile in Greenfield. And I always say, anytime you're over 1 mile in the visibility department, you're doing okay. Although here in southern locations, still running at a half mile to about 3/4 of a mile in many locations. So just give yourself some extra time. The fog is trying to lift. Here's the view in Greencastle, and you can again see the trees and the residences there over in portions of the DePaul campus area. Now, temperatures are a lot colder to the north, warmer to the south. Bloomington's at 50 degrees now, and this warmer air is going to start to lift to the north. For those of you in northern locations, you probably only get to the mid-40s this afternoon, about 50 in Indy, mid-50s though to the south. So it does turn into a milder day in southern locations, but with the damp feel, it may actually make those numbers you saw there feel just a little bit cooler. Now, don't be shocked this afternoon if you're out and about and you see a few sprinkles. You can already see some of them here on Storm Team 6 radar. Anything you see today, though, will be very light. It's going to be very spotty in nature. There's just not a whole lot in the way of moisture to work with this system, and the threat of any shower activity really comes to an end this evening. So if you're out after, say, 6, 7 o'clock, you really probably don't even need to have the umbrella handy. Now, once this front does go through, we are talking about a completely new air mass that's going to be in place tomorrow. Going to be a shock to the system because every single day this month, for the most part, has been above normal. That changes tomorrow with temperatures that are only going to be in the mid-30s across the area, but it's a brighter day. That's the good news. We have more in the way of sunshine in the forecast for the day tomorrow. The clouds, they quickly come back on Friday, and then by Friday evening, we're talking about a wintry mix moving in. It's probably after the evening drive now. That's the good news, but as it comes in, it's probably initially some snow across the area, maybe a little bit of mixed precipitation, but as the warmer air comes in, we'll change over to mainly rain across most of central Indiana, but it could stay snow in northern locations where we could pick up a couple inches of accumulation. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. By 8 a.m. Saturday, most everybody is over to rain at this point as temperatures will be climbing into the upper 40s, and we're looking at a decent rain event across the area. Not as much as we saw last Friday and Saturday, but anywhere from about a half an inch to an inch of rain is expected with this system system could aggravate the flooding situation just a little bit. And then behind this storm system, everybody's been asking where winter is. Well, it's about to arrive on Sunday, and then throughout much of next week, temperatures will be running well below normal. In fact, the high on Sunday, only 23 degrees. Low temperatures in the teens, finally back up to right around 30 degrees as we go into the day on Tuesday.
Todd, thank you. Everything is better with bacon, and this weekend you have a chance to get your fill at Bacon Fest. This is the 6th year for the celebration of everything bacon. Several restaurants will be on hand to offer their own delicious bacon creations. One of them is Sullivan's Steakhouse. Hal Liponski from Sullivan's is with us. Also here, Crystal from Q95 iHeartRadio, which is a co-sponsor of the event. Thank you both so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about bacon. This ain't your average bacon here. It not only smells delicious, it looks delicious. And Hal, you were just telling us bacon has a really unique history.
It does. It's been around a lot longer than we realize. Its origin dates back to 1500 BC, where the Chinese first started serving salt-cured pork. And at its essence, bacon is salt-cured pork, and obviously you have a lot of different presentations with it. But yeah, it's a great dish.
Beautiful.
And I think when people think bacon, they just think of the strips you can buy at the grocery store, and you either microwave them or you fry them in a frying pan, and that's that. But there are so many different ways you can present bacon and serve it up.
Yes, absolutely. And what we have today is actually smoked pork belly. Ooh. It was cured with salt and sugar. So it gets that combination of sweetness as well as the saltiness, and those contrasts are what really make a great dish.
All right, and Crystal, 6th year of the event. Tell me a little bit about what you're looking forward to and why people should come out this weekend.
We have outgrown a couple of venues.
Wow.
So now we have to have this at Pan Am Plaza. It sells out every year. So much fun. This is your first one, right, Hal?
It is, yes.
We're going to have so much fun. Sullivan's and the Burger Study are up in the VIP area. And last year, the Burger Study, man, that was incredible. They did like a root beer infused bacon, if you can imagine, like a really thick piece, kind of like these. But yeah, this is a beautiful presentation. Now, you don't have to be in the VIP area, though, to have a great time at Bacon Fest. There are going to be dozens and dozens of the greatest restaurants in town. And we have Kroger on hand, who does the chocolate dip. So they have a big chocolate fountain going, and you're dipping your, it's incredible.
Okay.
Smithfield Bacon will be there. It's brought to you by your Indiana pork farmers. We all know they can throw a party at the state fair. So we have a party with them every year at Bacon Fest.
I love it.
So much fun.
I love it. Well, people are probably dying to know where they can get more information. Where can they go for tickets and all that fun stuff?
Tickets right there, Q95.com.
Perfect, perfect. All right. Well, that is taking place this weekend. We're going to save this for Todd Clausen, our resident taste tester. We'll have more from him when we get back from the break. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Right now.
This wasn't Wile E. Coyote. These were the actual animals, but a house cat in Southern California wasn't about to back down. The owners of Max say they were watching a movie when they saw the shadow of a tail outside. They looked and saw this, Max surrounded by 3 coyotes. The owners scared off the coyotes, but they had no idea that Max had spent the previous few minutes fighting off the coyotes' attempts to get him. Luckily, Max is okay, and his mom and dad say that from now on, he will be an indoor cat only, just to be safe. All right, well, I have a feeling and not too many people are out and about today, Todd. It's just so gray and foggy.
You know, it's damp, and that dampness makes it feel even a little bit cooler than it is. So we'll get up to about 51 this afternoon. That's pretty late in the afternoon, and that's from Indy to the south. Everybody else is in the 40s. Tomorrow we finally get the sunshine back. It's been a little while, but it's much colder at 35. Then rain and snow Friday night, going over to all rain on Saturday, and then much, much colder next week as winter returns.
All right, winter finally here, Todd. Thanks so much. Thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope to see you back here at 5. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.